How's it going, guys? I'm Cyrus, and welcome to the Darkness podcast. Today, we're actually going to do a little different of a podcast. We don't have a special guest. It's just me, and I actually want to talk about something that happened today during my first block at the school that I teach at. I'm also a high school music teacher. Not only that, but doing content creation on the side. But something happened today was very powerful in how it went, and I kind of want to expound upon that in this podcast. Before we do that, make sure you check out our Discord, click the link in the description, jump in there. We'd love for you to be a part of our community, and yeah, let's jump into it. So the task for them today was, I took about, 15 minutes or 20 minutes of time, and I told them that we were going to split up and we were going to kind of put them in an uncomfortable situation and force them to connect with someone in the room who might not necessarily be someone who they talk to all the time. And as any of you may know, thinking back to like high school or something like that, you weren't always in every single clique or connected to every single person. Some of you were, but some might not. And so today I took the opportunity to kind of pair them up in pairings that I didn't feel were the natural pairing. They weren't the friends who talked all the time, and kind of put them in that uncomfortable situation, and then asked them to share something with that person that they might not know about them. I didn't say to do anything crazy personal or anything like that, but just like a simple fact. And what happened was beautiful. Some people were able to share kind of some deep stuff, and some people weren't actually sharing much at all because they didn't want to break down those barriers. But after I was done with that, not only did the room feel a lot more cohesive as a group because we were learning more about each other, but it just felt like a powerful moment. And so I say all of that to talk about how that is so true, not only for like what I did today in my classroom, but what you're doing every single day as a content creator. You're a person who not only goes every single day and thinks about what content I can create, maybe not every day, but what content I can create, how can I reach this group of people, what am I going to do to better what I'm doing every single day as a content creator, either by social media or what I'm creating. And one of the big things that we sometimes overlook is the beauty of being able to share our story and being able to open up to someone and tell them, here's my life and here's the things that I've encountered, and let somebody break down those barriers with you. And as a content creator, it's really important to be able to do that. And that's why people on YouTube, they'll make dedicated tutorials and then maybe go onto a different platform like with this podcast, or maybe on Twitch or on Twitter, and open up a little bit more because it doesn't maybe fit itself to that platform to just be open unless you're vlogging. And so when it comes to getting your audience to connect with you, being able to share personal experiences about your life, like, you might not know, but I have a son, he's 2 years old, his name's Hudson, and he is absolutely amazing, and I love everything about him, and he is not only so amazing in what he does, he picks it up so quickly, and we're so proud of him and what he does. And what you might not know is it took us a while to get him. And, we went through several years of kind of heartache trying to, have him. And, that was a hard process, but he's such a miracle, and we love him and we cherish him because of what we've been through to be able to have a son. And so, you might not have known that about me, and being able to open up to someone and say, like, here's my situation, here's my life, puts that human aspect into your content that some people are able to relate with and understand. And so what I would encourage you to do as a content creator is to not think of everything as a cut and dry, I've got to make this video for this piece of content to be able to achieve this kind of victory in what I'm doing. I'm trying to get monetized. I'm trying to create a full-time career. I'm trying to get this brand deal, this sponsorship, and what they want is the connection to the audience to get the views and the money, and everyone focuses on these metrics and these analytics and stuff like that. But the moment you back up and you allow someone to see you as a person, those numbers that you see kind of wash away in the fact that you're allowing real people to connect with you. And that's what's important. I was recently in someone's stream, and it's a rather larger streamer. I'm not just going to name the name, but I was watching the streamer, and they had thousands of viewers. And one of the things that came to mind was, right now I average 10 to 15 viewers on Twitch. And I just thought about the perspective of that. If I was sitting at my computer, playing a video game, having a conversation, if 10 to 15 people were in my room, which, by the way, my whole station and setup, I guess you'd call it, is in my dining room. If I had 10 to 15 people in my dining room, not only would they not fit, but that would be overwhelming to have that conversation at times. It may be to open up, especially since they're not really saying much except chat and you're responding to them. That could seem overwhelming. Now imagine that number being in the thousands. And what that looks like. Those people are there to see you and to understand who you are as a person. And so being able to relax and open up to them not only creates that human aspect that we as people really appreciate, but it also gives the opportunity for you to be vulnerable and for them to be able to understand your perspective and even fall more in love with what you do, not only as a creator, but as a person. And so I guess where I'm leading this to today is, I got these kids to open up to each other, and not only did they learn something about each other, or most of them did, but not only did they learn something new about each other, they were able to understand that they could break some barriers down, especially in my room. I'm a music teacher, and I enjoy them to be comfortable in the room because, music's hard sometimes and people get shy, but we allow them to try to feel comfortable in here as much as we can. And, when someone comes to your content, they need to feel that same. They're there to feel safe. They're probably, sitting on their couch, sitting wherever, it doesn't really matter, watching this content or viewing this content, whatever format that you're doing. And having them feel comfortable on your stream is part of what you should do. So I challenge you with this. If you haven't taken the opportunity to be vulnerable with your audience, I would do that. Take a moment and back up. Either post some stuff on Instagram that's more day-to-day life that people are going to be able to connect to you with, or post stuff on Twitter. Go on Twitch and, stream just conversations. Let people do Ask Me Anything streams. And have opportunities for people to get to know who you are as a person and not who you are as a creator, because both should be the same thing, and we all say that, but really are they? So I think we'll end it there. Again, guys, make sure you jump in our community. We would love for you to be a part of that and for us to be able to help you. And with that, we'll go ahead and end. I'm Cyrus, and welcome to the darkness. We'll catch you in the next podcast.